So this woman brings her baby in. The baby is in like very, very critical condition that needs her to be put on oxygen, that sort of stuff. And then I don't know whether they took light or something, but just within that very short period, whatever it was, I don't know, but I can remember the way that woman was wailing just within that very, very
Were
short
they able
time.
to save the child?
Yeah, winging it. We just winging it, winging it. Let's speak on it. Grab a seat and let's speak on it. You didn't have.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
See the way we don't have energy to talk today.
No,
See the way Joy said it high very slowly because I came here to lament. Open the book of Lamentation. You would have brought a book.
yeah, a
You would
big
have taken
book.
one of the books from
I
here.
just
Book of
open it, open to the
Lamentation
book of Lamentations
of
because
Nigeria.
it's not funny anymore. And I always start with dry jokes, but when this country is already a joke, I don't see the need for any joke drier than that anymore. So yeah. So recently there was the news. I don't know whether it's an alleged news,
Let's
but
see this
it
time
was
around. Throw
on
your allegedly away. Say it
well
with your words,
but yeah, there
full
was the
chest.
news about the presidential villa wanting to install a mini solar grid. Before I thought it was like a
Solar
solar
panel.
panel. That's what me I thought they were
How
going to
many
use
how many
10
solar
billion
how
naira.
many solar panels do you want to put inside presidential
No, I
villa?
don't I don't know now. Even if you want to use windmill or whatever, I thought it was solar panel. They were going to use 10 billion naira. So I just recently discovered that it's a mini solar grid that they want to put in the presidential villa solely for them.
So basically they are washing their hands like this.
And like recently the national grid has been collapsing. Like every 2 seconds it will collapse. This one collapse.
It has what's the name of that sickness that makes people fall down every time?
Epilepsy. It's
Sorry,
not
I
epilepsy.
mean this is an offensive joke. Sorry to all the
Don't
epileptic
don't use it.
people.
Don't. No, it's funny, but if you think about it, it's not funny because this is a lot of people's reality, and a lot of people are being affected by this. So
It's
if
literally the whole Nigeria, and I would have said, okay, it's just the poor, but how many people in Nigeria are rich?
yes,
How
that's the thing
many like
in
the
a
country?
country.
If 100%, like 90% are not rich. If you said okay, they are average, out of the 100%, 10% can be like the rich,
And
rich, rich,
this
rich
this
people. The other
poverty
ones, average
whatever.
people are not even up to like 30%. You literally hear it on like big news how Nigeria is poverty stricken, there's hunger. And it's true. This is not when you say, oh, it's a lie, it's just CNN trying to push an agenda or anything. There's literally hunger in the land.
I feel like every single thing is connected, like from power to petrol. Some people will be saying, "Oh, why is food increasing? Why is this one increasing?" If there was good light, if there were good roads, like I'm just saying, if there were good roads, if everything was working, things will not have to be so expensive. So coming back to this stuff about the president now, it just begs the question, where does this leave the common Nigerian man? Does it mean that the next time that the solar,
It leaves you on your own.
because it's not, I don't know whether it's a recent thing, but with this government they just seem to be so lax about a lot of things. Like it's not, they just come on the news and say, we know that one mudu of beans is
One five.
1,500 naira.
They're so
And
obsessed with 1 5. I think maybe we can start paying them 1 5 because what's this whole thing with one model of beans is 1 5. 1 5 can feed a decent Nigerian. 1 5, 1 5, 1 5, 1 5. Oh yeah, now people should take the 1 5
so most of these
as
things, like, they are just so delusional. They cannot really relate to what the common Nigerian can relate to. Like, let's bring it to this health sector now. A few weeks ago, I really don't remember his name, but he was saying that Nigerians don't know what they are enjoying, that some of his friends, they
come
come
back
back from
from
the
UK
US,
to
they to
come.
come and receive. So you come back from the UK to come and receive treatment here. In what hospital can the average
Nigerian
Nigerian
afford
access
that
this?
treatment that your friend from the UK came back to come and afford. First of all, those hospitals your friends are going to, they have power supply
They
because
have
the
stable
amount of money
electricity.
people spend on treatment there. If you're saying US, your friends are coming back with dollars and they're converting it to what? Naira. And so they go to these big hospitals where the common Nigerian cannot afford. And they go there. They spend so much money in these hospitals, and these same hospitals use that money towards supply power for their hospital light. But now let's come back to the federal government hospitals.
You know that this power something is connected to a lot of things. It's connected to ventilators. Basically, a hospital needs power to run,
247.
and this is just us saying, if the government, or if they've decided this is what they want to do for themselves, are they leaving the federal hospitals, the businesses of
this
Nigerians? Are they
this power
saying,
supply, it would have been more useful. This, I mean, I said power supply, this solar grid would have been more useful at the hospitals.
not just, okay, yes, hospitals, yes, but even down to normal businesses?
Yes, but let's
Yes.
deal with the hospital. Was it not recently a Proco doctor went to a hospital? You need to see the state of this hospital, even the toilets where women that just finished giving birth go to like clean up. It's like, oh, have you ever seen school toilets? Public school toilets was better than this toilet, and you know how bad public school toilets can be sometimes. So it was literally better than this toilet. There was no power supply.
Okay, and if there's no power, there's no water.
There is no water.
How can a federal hospital know how? And it just, you see how all these things are just linked together. How can something so little be, it's not little, because God said let there be light. I'm sorry. How can something so little be the root cause of, is it root cause I'm looking for? I don't know if root cause
And
is
these
what I'm
same
looking for,
federal
sure.
hospitals are supposed to be like the most affordable healthcare in
Yeah.
Nigeria. But because they cannot provide, because they don't have electricity to provide what they need, what patients need, people will go try to go for like the private ones. And then the private ones are not cheap because they're not using their sweat or tears to run the hospital. It's money. Money to get that same power supply. Do you know how much is fuel now? Fuel is expensive, diesel is expensive. So imagine running a hospital on 24 hours of diesel and fuel.
Do you know, I remember one time when I was working in a hospital, we were just trying to convert some of their files to digital format, basically. So this woman brings her baby in. The baby is in like very, very critical condition that needs her to be put on oxygen, that sort of stuff. And then I don't know whether they took light or something, but just within that very short period, whatever it was, I don't know, but I can remember the way that woman was wailing just within that very, very
Were
short
they able to
time.
save the child?
They were not able to save the child, unfortunately. And
And we can't blame the hospitals in this case. We can't
you
blame
can't
them.
even
You
blame the
can't blame
hospital
them because
because sometimes some of them don't have inverters before they can turn on the generator, and this was a baby in very, very critical condition. Most times when I remember the way that particular, like, there's a difference when someone is crying,
and
there's when
somebody is
someone is wailing,
wailing.
like you could literally hear her scream and stuff like
That's
that.
literally her nine
So
months. And you know, outside, lights is like the bare minimum. This
yes.
also affects like normal business owners, remote workers.
Remote
Remote
workers.
workers.
I was in an interview recently. Yes, recently. And my own was not light sha, because I will not say, because I always have lights in my house. But my own was MCM. But one day me and MCM will enter one trouser. So the other time when what happened? Where was I? But see, I was in an interview, then they just took the light and they're like, oh, what happened? Do you have an issue with your power? I said, no, 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 no. We're going to fix it now. We're going to fix this thing. It is funny, but it's not
It's
funny.
affect remote workers are really, they're really suffering. Let's Before we even enter the network issue, lights first of all, you'd have something to do. Imagine explaining to your foreign boss that somebody was saying that she told her boss that there was no lights to do because they gave her a task. And her laptop was literally 15%. So by the time she would dress up, enter car to go to like a restaurant where she was going to access light, maybe just buy something from them, then charge her laptop to work. Time for the task was going. So she told her boss that he should give her like 15 to 30 minutes. And the boss could not understand. Like, what do you mean there is no lights for you to charge your laptop and do what I said you should do? There's no lights.
See, one thing me I want is a working country. If, for instance, now, this country was working, what does a working country mean? You have access to electricity, stable electricity, good food, good roads, good everything. I do not really think people will care so much what they are using taxpayers' money, because this is taxpayers' money. They will not really care so much what they are using taxpayers' money to
To
do.
do.
But when you just want to fill your own stomach first and say, oh, you
Everybody
people.
will don't care about you. You are on your own.
And do you know what pains me? What pains me is that some people come out to defend these people. Like, why would you come out to defend somebody unless maybe
You
you're
won't be surprised. Somebody
benefiting
will ask you,
directly?
must you have like
Must you eat egg?
forget must you eat egg. This same conversation they were having on the internet, that bed app. Okay, now it's the X app. And somebody was saying, what will people using lights? What will people use lights for?
Okay,
They just need
except
to
ice
produce
block.
ice block.
If you think about the way
They're
some
saying
people
produce
reason,
businesses, uncle. Some businesses have literally packed up and left the country because what? There's no power supply.
recently I was looking for fresh milk and stuff like that. Don't ask me what I wanted to use fresh milk for. Well, I was looking for fresh milk and I searched. I could not find fresh milk. I don't know why. But then again, there was a lady that made a fresh batch of yogurt, and then something was wrong with her generator. Even running generator on petrol, petrol is in fact, everything is
This
expensive.
same whole preserving her ego, it also happened to somebody I know. She was
I'm
supposed
not
to.
finished. Shut up. So everything got spoiled. You will not imagine how much she spent because she used fresh milk. And what she was like, oh, please, you people should come and buy you. But then again, fresh milk has to be preserved. So it eventually got spoiled. And she was just like,
Can't even
is
imagine
this the
her
country? Is this the
losses.
country that you people are saying that some people are coming online to say, Nigerians are exaggerating. Why are you doing as if this? Like, when people start complaining, I don't know why there are always people that are there to defend bad things. Like, why?
You know the funny thing, if you check the lives of people that are defending, most majority are not also in the upper class or they're not rich. That guy that said there's something, I've forgotten what he said on Twitter. They like traced his posts back to where he was literally begging for money on the same Twitter. The same Twitter where he was begging for, like, it wasn't even long, like 3 months back. He was begging for money. But this same person came out to defend the government and say if by exaggerating, they are doing a good job. This country is in the right hands.
Okay, so one thing that I want to ask you,
Hmm.
my sister Winnie,
Hmm.
is who is going to install this, or who is going to set up the mini solar grid? Who is going to set it up in the presidential villa? Like, who are they going to give the 10 billion naira to? 10 billion naira
You're
to?
asking me, is it me that they're paying?
I don't know now, like, who is going to set
We
it up for
don't know
them?
who is going to set it up.
And when, like, the person or the company or whatever sets it up for them, are those people also going to pay tax again? Are they going to collect tax from those people again?
They might decide to use a foreign country. You never know these people. Anything to avoid accountability, anything to avoid doing what you're supposed to do. They do. They tell you, oh, you're importing it from a foreign country, so they know what they are doing.
And I thought they ban. Okay, you remember when I said solar panels?
Which
I want to
that's
say I
the
thought they
wait, let's
banned
go
solar
back. They
panel.
ban solar
I
panel.
thought they ban importation of
They
solar
ban
panel. Importation.
importation
Importation.
of solar panel, but they are installing grid. A whole what? A grid. So they don't want you. It's like they do me, and you don't want make I progress. They don't want you to have soft life.
It's you. It's not me. Leave me alone. It's you. It's not me.
They don't want you to have soft life, but they want to have soft life. It's just like saying, okay, oh,
It's just like saying, I want to fill my stomach, but you, it's okay for you to fast. I mean, you can fast all you want, but let me eat everything. And some people say fasting is good for
Fasting is good for your
you.
health.
Fasting is very, very good for you. No, it doesn't work that way. All of us just want a country that works. All of us just want to, we just want to have light.
If
Even if I'm using it for ice block, I just want to have light. I wish they could relate. This is that if they could relate to what the common man could relate to, they would look for ways to solve
And
issues
so another
for
thing is, some
everybody.
of them, most of them have a grass to grace story. Be like, oh, my mother had 15 children. We were raised in face me, I face you. So sometimes I wonder, can't they like look back
How
to
many of them
how
had grass to grace story?
a lot of them have grass to grace
A
stories.
lot of who?
Your people in power.
Eh.
People in power. There's literally one that used to be a beggar.
But
So can't they
anyway,
look back to that thing they used to suffer before and be like, oh, I've suffered before, so I know what it feels like. And maybe connect to that past suffering and try to provide
it doesn't
solution to
it
the current
doesn't
suffering.
it
Like,
doesn't really work that way, because when you get to the position of power, they say when power works for you, when power doesn't work for you is corruption. When it works for you,
it's
not
connection.
nepa lights, not nepa power, it's connection.
It's
But
connection.
I just really, my heart is really heavy. It's not heavy like that, sha, but it's heavy
We didn't have
enough.
light for like 4 days last week.
In Lagos, in my house in Lagos, they've not had light for almost 2 weeks. And burning petrol, this is money that we can use for
And it was
something.
even during Easter. They did not say, okay, oh, we are celebrating the death and
That's
resurrection of our
true.
Lord Jesus
Pope died.
Christ.
Pope died. I'm so sorry for announcing like this. But the Pope died on Easter Sunday. That's so cool.
What do you mean that's so cool?
No, like no, like
Jesus, the resurrecting, they die.
like it's like your time has gone. I'm so sorry, but my condolences to the bereaved, to the
I
bereaved
saw a
families. Yes, but I want to end this thing with a joke, a dry joke. I don't know. The Pope something brought up the dry joke something. So winning. Why are mathematicians always out of shape?
because
Answer fast. We don't have time.
they are running because we are running out of time.
No, they are out of shape.
Chasing X,
No,
looking for X.
because they always leave the exercise for the reader. Like they always leave the exercise for us. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for today. I hope the life situation has not affected you
It
badly.
has affected. What is you
Shut up.
hope? It has affected everybody.
Thank you guys. Until next time, don't forget to keep winging it. Bye.